What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Monday, January 15th, 2024. Happy MLK Day. What a day this is going to be. It's kind of cold where I'm at. It actually snowed a little bit this morning and was expected to get more snow in a few more hours. It's supposed to be more than what we're dealing with right now. So we have that. But more importantly, we have what I'm about to bring to you all today. A lovely triple P. What a way to kick off the day. What a way to kick off the week. And it is going to be on none other than the political pick me himself. That's my new title for him. Vivek Ramen Noodles Ramaswamy. The day has finally arrived. Well, actually, the second day, because I think I did a triple P on him before. I can't remember if I did one before on him or not, but I think I have. So if I did, this would be number 2. But this one's probably going to be better than number 1. Because as I originally had it titled, his show was about to be canceled. And so many of his supporters are starting to back up off of him, if they were even supporters to begin with. He got too comfortable and they let him know, you are just temporarily here. Don't think you are about to move in. Don't even unpack your bags. As a matter of fact, when you come here, don't even pack anything because you're not staying very long. Don't even get comfortable and try to sit. Just stand and be near the door. Shout out to Harvey for constantly staying on ramen noodles. Like, he's been hammering like stories after story, video after video about this dude for a while now. Shout out to Lisa Cabrera. She's been talking about him. Kid Gravity, Blacklight Revelations, Rob over at Blacklight Revelations have been going in, and anybody else in the new black media who has been going in on this dude, and deservedly so, for the last year or so. I believe Afro Elite talked about him as well. For the most part, we all had our opportunities to take our digs at this dude, and it's a good thing we stayed on it, because this dude has been so slick at the mouth, especially with his anti-blackness. We're going to get into all of that today, plus a few other things. And of course, I'm going to drop that link because I know some of y'all are going to be very opinionated and have something to say as it pertains to this whole situation. Shout out to Denise for the first super chat of the day. She says, "Get him, Torian." Listen to who you're talking to, of course. That goes without saying. But before we go ahead and get into it, let me go ahead and acknowledge the people who are here so far in the chat. It says I have 137 people in here. Make sure to go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button as well. I'm also multi-streaming this over on X as well. Shout out to everyone who was watching over on X. We have Asia, Pi May, Mark, Bruce, CW5001, Bot Boy, Blueberry Muffin Dairy, B Haxon KT, Ice Spider, Sharon, Blair in Real Life, Roku Muro, Muscle Pain, Jacoby, Eric H, Steve, Grape Shot, JM Y'all, Key Prince, Stay Positive, Emperor Rex, Wallow J, Chris Vesey, Vincent Taylor, Southern Lady Brown, DSB, Melanated Mantra, Kill Yourself, Mr. J, the Geek Surgeon. Speaking of Kid Gravity, I spoke him up and he's right there. The Village Brother, Alana B, Surf Factor, and Sanisha McCoy. And shout out to anybody else that is in the chat or who's watching right now who hasn't commented yet. Gerald Jarvis. This is definitely going to be one of my more funner triple P's, but all of them are fun because remember, when we do triple P's over here, they're for people who deserve them, who have basically said a lot of stuff about us or have been off code and something has happened to them, and we want to acknowledge it in the best way possible. Let's see, we got Nightfall Drop, John Guillory, Ms. Brooklyn 11232. I hope everyone is having a good day so far. And this is perfect because I know everybody's off today. So I know I can get many more people active in here. But of course, I've noticed with the midday streams, even that have shown in the past couple of the last couple of, I would say last month and a half since I've started to do these, that I can gather an audience even on a work day or a day where people are in. But I know that because people are off today, I know I will get a lot of people attention. Yes, political pick me. That is what I have started to call him. And I don't know, because like I said, originally the title of the video, the stream was called The Vivek Ramaswamy Show is About to Be Canceled. Cry About It. But then I said, you know what? I want to change it up a little bit. And then the name or the phrase political pick me just popped up in my head. And I said, you know what? That is the perfect descriptive of him. That's because that's exactly what he is when you think about it. And shout out to the Village Brother for the $1.99. He has been a sub forever a while. Love your content, Cook. I appreciate you for being a continued subscriber of the channel. And that is all we're going to do over here is we are going to cook. But when it comes to him, it's not enough for us to simply just cook. Okay, we're going to have to cook. We're going to have to fry. We're going to have to grill. We're going to have to bake. We're going to have to do all of that fricassee, all those chef terms. I know Kid Gravity knows many more than I do, seeing as he's a chef himself. So it is now officially 12:10. Let me go ahead now and present the screen, and we will go through these tabs in a timely manner because I know y'all are itching down in that chat to come on up here to talk about this dude. And trust me, I'm ready to hear what y'all got to say. So I wanted to go back a little bit and start here and then start moving our way forward, because y'all know whenever I like to do a good backstory on someone, we have to take it back a little bit so we can bring people up to speed to see how we got here. So remember, if for those of y'all who don't, and it's also kind of a memory refresher as well. If y'all remember or don't remember, back in August, Ramen Noodles went on to Chuck Todd on Meet the Press and basically called 45 a sore loser. Now, I'm not going to play the video itself. First off, the video is only 34 seconds, but really all that needs to be read is what I have highlighted right here in yellow. He said, "No one likes a sore loser," Todd said, reading from the book. Now, this is a book that Ramen Noodles wrote. He said, "That's one of the worst victimhood complexes of it all." Then he asked Ramen Noodles, "Are you referring to Donald Trump?" To which Ramen Noodles said, "I referred in that chapter to both Stacey Abrams and to Donald Trump." He says, "I was especially disappointed when I saw President Trump take a page from Stacey Abrams' playbook. His claims were just as weak as Abrams' Ramen Noodles wrote in the book. He also blamed 45 in the book for delivering just another tale of grievance after making bold promises to the conservative movement." Now, keep this in mind. A lot of people forgot about this. That's why I said I had to bring it back up. So it's like in one breath, you are praising 45 and doing all this political pick-meing for him. But in your book, you said he was a sore loser and then compared him and had him and Stacey Abrams in the same sentence, which we all know those two don't like each other. They both have mud slang at each other from both sides. But then you said, I'm going to just throw them both in there and call them both sore losers. I don't know about y'all, but if something like that probably wasn't the smartest thing for him to do. He probably thought people forgot, but we over here didn't. At least I didn't. So I just wanted to cover that. I wanted to start right there first. I needed a base to kick this thing off with. Now we're going to move on to this part right here. I never got an opportunity to talk about this, but this was when he was confronted by that Washington Post worker when they were asking him about would he denounce white supremacy. Now, many of you have already seen this clip, but for those of y'all who didn't, here we go.
You condemn white supremacy and white nationalism?
I mean, what this kind of, who are you with? Which Washington Post. All right, so potato. Okay. Of course, I condemn any form of vicious racial discrimination in this country. But I think that the presumption of your question is fundamentally based on a falsehood that really is the main form of racial discrimination we see in this country today. Institutionalized racism is institutionalized racial discrimination that we see that doesn't come from somehow discriminating against people on the basis of some tenet of white supremacy. It's based on affirmative action. It's based on actually discriminating against people on the color of their skin in a way that's actually institutionalized today. Was there a point in our history, at points in our prior national history, where there have been vicious forms of anti-Black or anti-Brown discrimination throughout this country after the Civil War and otherwise? Yes. But you're looking in the rearview mirror and using that to pose a question today that is so far removed from what the reality is in America today. This myth of white supremacy, the closest you can find is Jussie Smollett, where you all were actually, speaking of trust in the media, jumping up and down over some false narrative. The best way you're able to find your best instance of white supremacy was a guy who was actually paying his other fellow people to be actually staging something that didn't happen.
Look at what he had to refer to when he made the comment. He brought up Jussie Smollett, which, by the way, we already condemned him for that. You know, he ruined his own bag when he did that. We said how dumb he was for even doing that, and why would he even have to do that in the first place? Like, we was throwing a lot of support behind him, and then it didn't last long, because it didn't last long to find out that he was lying. But I'm just saying, like, look what he had to refer to try to make his point, which he still didn't make a point.
And so stop picking on this farce of some figment that exists at some infinitesimally small fringe of the American public today to open our eyes to the actual real threats that we face. And I think that it's frankly questions and framings like that that has caused the American public to lose all trust in the mainstream media. I'm sorry to say, for good reason.
You didn't say that you condemn white supremacy, though.
I'm not.
Exactly. The woman asked him, the reporter asked him simply, do you condemn white supremacy in America today? He gave this roundabout answer for the last minute and a half that did not answer the question. And when he was done talking, the woman came back and said, okay, but do you condemn white supremacy? See, he thought that by giving this around the world an 80-day response, that it would throw her off and she would just accept that as a response. This is the same thing that Nimrata Ron Hawa did when the person there asked her about what kicked off the Civil War, like, or what was the Civil War about? And then she did that roundabout response to, keep in mind, Vivek and Nimrata are both Indians or of Indian descent.
I'm not going to recite some catechism for you. I'm against vicious racial discrimination in this country. So I'm not pledging allegiance to
you. Saying you're against racial discrimination and denouncing white supremacy are two different things. I will give it to Vivek. I don't see him much as a politician, but he sure does act like one with the way he lies. Y'all know, like I said, you know my nickname for them is Pa Lie Trick Shin.
To your new religion of modern wokeism, which absolutely fits the
there it is, modern wokeism. We all know what that means. Ask them to define it and they don't know how to do it. We're looking at you again, Bethany Mandel. You know what's so funny? Speaking of Bethany Mandel, has anyone heard from her ever since she got exposed on the Hill last year? Oh, easily one of the best moments of 2023.
The test. I'm not going to bend the knee to your religion. I'm sorry. I'm not asking you to bend the knee to mine, and I'm not going to bend the knee to yours. But do I condemn vicious racial discrimination? Yes, I do. Am I going to play your silly game of gotcha? No, I'm not. And frankly, this is why people have lost trust. And I know you're going to go print the headline tomorrow. I already know this. We already know how your game works. Vivek Ramaswamy refuses to condemn white supremacy because you asked a stupid question.
And see that right there. She asks, do you condemn white supremacy? And then he refers to it as her asking a stupid question. And you had a lot of these fools online who claim to be fans of his who were saying, oh, Vivek owned this Washington Post reporter. Oh, Vivek Ramaswamy is so brave. Oh, Vivek is the man. Oh, Vivek for president 2024. Oh, Vivek destroys the left. Oh, Vivek is anti-woke. Oh, this and oh. I'm like, if y'all don't... I keep telling people the bar is so low. It is being bench pressed by Satan on the seventh circle in hell. That is how low it is.
The reality is I condemn vicious racial discrimination in this country, but the kind of vicious and systematic racial discrimination we see today is discrimination on the basis of race in a very different direction. You want to know what the best way is to end discrimination on the basis of race? Stop discriminating on the basis of race. Do that, and we're going to move this country forward. And I don't care whether you're black or white or brown or anything in between. That's how we're going to unite this country. You people have been responsible for dividing this country to a breaking point, creating a projection of national.
Who is you people? I need a description of now when he says you people. Ramen noodle. Who is you people?
Division. I meet people from the south side of Chicago to meetings like this one of every shade of melanin, multiple, from man to woman, doesn't make a difference, who are hungry for reviving unity in this country. And you, with your catechism that you try to get as politicians to whatever fake headline you're going to print on the basis of this conversation tomorrow, that's what's dividing this country to a breaking point. Shame on you. Look people in the eye and tell them what you've actually failed to tell them for the last 5 years. Own the accountability for your own failures as the media. That's how we rebuild trust in this country. And until then, I don't have a lot of patience to play the games.
All right, so that's that whole segment. Before I go any further, I have to acknowledge a couple super chats that came in. Shout out to Nice Tea Girl for the $9.99 super chat. She says, we're coming to get our check. MLK Jr. Exactly. They don't like to talk about that part. You know, they go straight to, they make that beeline straight to I Have a Dream. Shout out to you. And shout out to Scoop 2003 for the $5 super chat. He said they never talk to the real black media. Who going to hit them with the questions that we really want answers to? Exactly. Shout out to Scoop for the $5 super chat. Exactly. They will never come to me or Kid Gravity or Harvey, Lisa Cabrera, Blacklight Revelations, because we're going to hold their feet to the fire. We're not going to allow them to just get away with saying whatever they want. We're going to hit them hard, and we're going to stay there until we pull out of them what needs to be heard or what needs to be said. And don't just say what we think we want to hear. But the thing is, we already peeped their game early on. Ramen Noodles has already been exposed himself. He thinks he's still in. So we have that video right there. Now, this one right here, I wanted Kid Gravity. I see you right there in the chat. I was wondering if you, like, when you and Rob were talking about him yesterday on the stream that y'all was doing, if y'all would bring this up. I actually brought this up in as a question. Would you talk about this? And and it's like, you didn't do it, but I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. So how many people heard about this right here, where apparently there were deceased people on paperwork, on nomination paperwork? I said, oh, they up to that trick again. So this came out January 12th, 2024, and I'm reading it from Esquire.com. It says, Vivek Ramaswamy's got to get better at this. A tip: don't put the names of dead people on your nominating paperwork. It says, oh, Vivek, you were so very bad at this politics thing. You can't even, I don't know what this word is supposed to be, but I'm going to just read a little bit past it. It says you can't even, I don't know what the word means, or word is, properly without getting caught. From the Boston Globe. Last year, election officials found the names of dead people on nomination papers submitted on behalf of Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos, a Democrat then running for the 1st Congressional District seat. And now election officials have found the names of dead people on nomination papers submitted on behalf of Vivek Ramaswamy, a Republican candidate for president. The Warwick Board of Canvassers reported finding the names of several deceased voters on Ramaswamy's nomination papers, and the boards of canvassers in Providence, Hopkinton, and Coventry reported that they have invalidated an unusually high number of signatures on Ramaswamy's nomination papers, said Ben Smith, a spokesperson for the State Board of Elections. Let me explain something to you, Vivek. We have a long history of election shenanigans up here. In fact, in Massachusetts, we invented a number of the most effective techniques. And in Rhode Island, they ran their own variations. If you're going to involve dead people up here, you simply got to find people who are better at it. A spokesperson for the Ramaswamy campaign, Tricia McLaughlin, said the campaign used an outside vendor known as Ground Game LLC to collect signatures for nomination papers in Rhode Island. She said an investigation began as soon as the campaign heard the report about deceased voters, and it found one of the vendor's employees had intentionally used the names of deceased individuals on those forms. That person has been fired, and the campaign will work with law enforcement on any review of the matter, McLaughlin said. She said it is common for national campaigns to use vendors to collect signatures. Yes, it is very common to do this. It is also common to check their work to make sure that some of the people on your nomination papers are, living people and not the honored deceased, who Rhode Island probably were Democrats anyway. We wear the chains we forge in life after all. So somebody in his camp was literally putting dead people's names on documents, and they got caught. You don't think ramen noodles didn't know about that? Stalemate, yes, it is very illegal, but it happens all the time in the realm of politics. Shout out to the 321 people that is in here so far. I'm glad that you are here. Oh yeah, Denise. Like I said, that was just a rhetorical question. You can't tell me he didn't know. So that's that part right there. I just want to throw that in there because a lot of people didn't even know that existed, because that really got buried. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing, because I know what y'all really came for, and that is the whole dust up with him in Now 45. ABC News reported on this on January 13, 2024. Trump criticizes Ramaswamy publicly for the first time ahead of the Iowa caucus. Let's see what they're talking about.
Before the Iowa caucuses, the candidates making their final pitch to voters as former President Donald Trump leads by a wide margin. All eyes are on the weather. Brutal cold and blizzard conditions expected to have a major impact on turnout. And tonight, what poll numbers show about the increasingly important race for second place. ABC's senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott is in Iowa.
Tonight, with the Iowa caucuses now just 2 days away, the Republican candidates for president battling a vicious blizzard and biting cold in their final pitches to voters.
You know the responsibility that comes with being first. You know that you're setting the tone for where the country's going to be.
But you have an opportunity to brave those elements, go and caucus.
The extreme weather upending several campaign events. Former President Donald Trump hasn't campaigned here all week, canceling nearly all his events this weekend. Trump instead taking to social media, urging his supporters to not be complacent.
One way or the other, I'm getting there. You have the worst weather, I guess, in recorded history, but maybe that's good because our people are more committed than anybody else.
Trump's rivals taking advantage of his absence, packing in voters willing to brave the bitter weather.
I think Trump will struggle to win over the independents, whereas I think Ron DeSantis can do so.
With Trump's dominant 30-point lead, all eyes now on the close race for second. Nikki Haley just 1 point ahead of Ron DeSantis.
Now look at this right here. Look at these numbers on your screen. 45 has 51.3%. Keep in mind, this man hasn't done one debate yet. And he is miles ahead of the competition, if you even want to call that competition. Nimrata has 17.3. The Snowflake has 16.1. And Ramen Noodles couldn't even crack 10%. If this fool who's in dead last place thinks he has a chance, he is sadly mistaken. There's no way he's going to catch up. None. He might as well just bow out now, but we know he ain't going to do it.
Who has been betting big on Iowa, holding more events than Trump and Haley combined.
If you will caucus for us on Monday, I promise you that our best days are yet to come.
But the biggest challenge could be getting voters to show up on Monday night for what's expected to be the coldest caucus on record.
How do you think it's going to affect turnout?
I think it's going to really affect it. Yeah, I'm really concerned about that.
It's quite unusual for the frontrunner in this race to be off the campaign trail for so long during the final stretch. The former president will only hold one campaign event tomorrow. No Republican has ever won in a contested Iowa caucuses by more than 12 points. Right now, Donald Trump is up by 30. His campaign hopes a landslide victory sends a message that this field needs to narrow, but all this brutal weather could really impact turnout.
Rachel Scott, thank you. Good to see you inside and out of the cold. We appreciate.
All right, so y'all saw that right there. At this point, ramen noodles is just there. He's just there. He's like furniture. He's just there to be seen. More like furniture that you probably found at the damn Value Village or the Salvation Army, but furniture nonetheless. So I just wanted y'all to see that part right there. And like I said, that's just the beginning, y'all. We got more. We have more. So, unfortunately, I had to go to Fox News for this one. Vivek Ramaswamy withholds friendly fire after Trump attack. I am not going to criticize him. Excuse me. Let's rewind back a few tabs. Didn't you call him a sore loser in your book? That means you already criticized him. I'm just saying. And leave it to Fox News to say I can't read the article because I got to pay to read it. That's dumb. It says read this article for free. Well, first off, I'm not even signing up for y'all, so we're going to just leave it right here. But like I said, even with insults coming his way, and rightfully so, he still finds a way to lick them boots. I don't know why he thought entering, like, I said the dumbest thing he could have did. Remember when he when Colorado had basically banned Trump from being on the ballot, and he says, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and turn around my campaign in the state of Colorado because I'm going to be in support of Trump. You know, this leftist ideology, this wokeism. My goodness. I said that was the dumbest thing you could have did. With your numbers as low as they was, you need to get as much help as you can. 45 is going to be able to thrive without Colorado, especially since Colorado's a blue state anyway. You, on the other hand, need all the assists you can get. When he did that, I said, you big dummy, in my best Fred G. Sanford voice. You know what ramen noodles remind me of? Do y'all remember that episode of the Boondocks with a pimp named Slipback when he first came in, and the one of his ladies of the night, I should say, was into Granddad, and then when the pimp named Slipback came to get her, she ended up leaving Granddad because she was missing that money. And when a pimp named Slipback was counting down, he wasn't playing. He said, when I get to 0, I'm driving off. He drove off, left her in a dozen. What's she doing? Running down the street, yelling to get in the car. That's what he reminds me of. Trump is a pimp named Slipback, and ramen noodles is that whore. Running down the street, trying to get in the car. I mean, she was booking it. So let's go on to this one right here. Now, this is a video that is on X, and it's coming from this account named MAGA Elvis, because now at this point, 45 has completely, I guess you could say, removed himself from ramen noodles. He says you're not MAGA. Those are probably one of the words that people who are huge fans of Trump do not want to hear. If Trump comes out and says you are not MAGA, his base is going to follow in his footsteps and declare you're not a part of it. That's one of the worst things you want to hear. But this one says breaking: slimy slug Vivek tells a voter, you want to save Trump, you vote for me. If you vote for Trump, you're sending him to his own demise. Probably not the best thing to say, but let's check it out.
Scared of you. Just
They are.
They're scared of Trump.
Oh,
they are scared.
And they will stop
of
at
you.
nothing, but we're not going to let them get away with it. I've got fresh legs. I'm not wounded. And
That's
they're not going to
true.
let this man do it.
You know, when you
This
said
is why I gotta
eliminate,
win.
that gave me a chill. Because I'm scared.
Because you think it's false or because you think it's true?
I think it's true. I think they will stop at
It is-
nothing to stop them. Stop Trump.
It's sad, but it's the truth. It's the sad, but it's the truth. So I'm
But
asking you to do
that's-
your part, and we're going to.
You know, when
We
I
can
do
do
these
this.
polls,
We
when I
can do this.
poll, they say, how do you feel about the United States? And I say, I'm worried and I'm fearful.
My job that you don't have to feel that way in this country.
But we're losing it.
You think
We're losing it.
it pains me to hear.
I don't know. I don't know what's funnier. This whole scenario right here, or the fact they got this somber music playing in the background. I'm like, where did this music come from? I thought I was hearing things for a minute. I was like, I wanted to chat. Here's this. Like, I had to make sure that it wasn't coming from my computer. Exactly. And the hug too.
Hear that?
We need people like you. Young.
Now, this is definitely a time to pull out the little tiny violin. Put some violins in the chat.
I want your support at that Iowa caucus.
I get emotional.
I'm emotional about this country. I need your support on Monday night. You do this, I'm going to do my part.
Okay, you're picking at my shell. You are.
Yeah.
But you know, I've got
It's about this country. It's about this country.
Now, why is he whispering? I'm going to do whatever it is that I can for you to help and save and preserve this country. That is my job. As God is my witness, and as long as my name is Vivek Ramaswamy, ramen noodles, because I am covered by the blood of the Lamb of God. He sent me here to come and help you. You know? My goodness.
You want to save Trump, you vote for me. I'm telling you that. You vote for Trump. You're sending him. No, but you're sending him to his own demise. You're falling into the trap that not only a country's falling in, that he's falling. You want to save Trump, you vote for me.
There it is. There it is. There's the line. He must have not known he was being recorded, which is probably why he was whispering. You got to understand, people are always around you. You got to be careful with what you say. Unless you can communicate with people telepathically, where they can't enter your mind and read your thoughts, you probably shouldn't say too much. And there it is right there. This was the part right here where Trump pretty much declared, I can't trust this dude.
I need your support at the Iowa caucus.
That's a good argument. That's a good argument.
It's not an argument. It's the truth. Do the right thing for this country. That's what I'm asking you for.
I will consider.
Thank you.
That's the first time
For
I've
this
ever
country.
said that, by the way. Because the others.
No, forget that. But that's the truth, and I think you know it.
Also about Trump.
But this is
About
yes,
America.
yes. This is the truth, and what I just told you, I think you know that in your heart to be true. Do the right thing on Monday. That's what I'm asking you for. Thank you.
All right, so there's the little somber moment, and shout out to everybody who did the violins in the chat. Blacklight Andrew, thank you for the $2 super chat. He said Trump told ramen noodle who he ain't gang. Exactly. He found out that day. FAFO. He said you will find out on Monday, which, by the way, today is Monday. Today is the day, y'all. I don't know if Kid Gravity is going to be covering that, but it should be an interesting sight to see. Now, I have one last thing that I'm going to show y'all, and then I will drop the link for y'all to come on up. And that's this very long, this lengthy tweet post that Ramen Noodles put on his page. And shout out to the 400. We just hit 400 live viewers in the chat right now. I'm glad that you are all here. So Ramen Noodle made this post on January 13th, 2024. I don't know when that other video was posted, but so we're gonna read and dissect this thing here. He said, yes, I saw President Trump's Truth Social post. It is an unfortunate move by his campaign advisors. I don't think friendly fire is helpful. Donald Trump was the greatest president of the 21st century, and I'm not going to criticize him in response to this late attack. See, there he goes again. Bootlicking again. Being the political pick-me that we all know and loathe. Do you actually think that's how you win? Is by doing this? Because I know that's how, like in competition, you're not supposed to be nice. In war, in battle, you're not supposed to be nice to your opponents. It's a mission that has to be accomplished. There has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. Something just tells me that Ramen Noodles grew up in being told that losers can be winners. Something tells me this dude probably has a plethora of participation awards and trophies and ribbons and banners. He goes on to say, I've met tens of thousands of Iowans across 390 plus events here, and they are deeply worried, and so am I, that this quote unquote system won't allow Donald J. Trump anywhere near the White House again. It seems they will stop at nothing to keep him away from power. Dude, you are supposed to be running for president. Why are you hanging off the hairs of the taint of your opponent? I don't get it. This is so weird to me. He goes on to say, I'm worried for Trump. I'm worried for our country. I've stood up against the persecutions against Trump, and I've defended him at every step. I showed up at the Miami courthouse in solidarity following his first federal indictment. I filed an FOIA demand to the Biden DOJ. I submitted an amicus brief this week with the U.S. Supreme Court calling on them to overturn Colorado's ruling. I pledged to remove myself from Maine's and Colorado's. So you remove yourself from Maine too? I didn't know he removed himself from Maine. I thought it was just Colorado. Now, this whole paragraph is very telling. He's saying all the stuff that he did to quote unquote support Trump, but you're supposed to be running against him. At this point, Ramen Noodles, you didn't need to be running for president. You just needed to be on his campaign team. Because that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like to me he's trying to be a part of the actual campaign. This man does not want to be president. I think it's pretty obvious by now what that is. He just did this so he could get his name out there. And I told y'all before, if he loses this, which I think is a very strong possibility at this point, he gonna start that podcast. He gonna start that podcast. He says, but we have to open our eyes. Last time it was a man-made pandemic and big tech election interference. Now the same billionaires funding the lawsuits against Trump are the ones trying to prop up Nimrata, Ron Howard. The same mainstream media blasting Trump is lavishing praise on Nimrata. They want to narrow this to a two-horse race between Trump and Ron Howard, eliminate Trump one way or the other, and trot their puppet into the White House. My thing is this, Ramen Noodles. If Ron Howard is a puppet, then what does that make you? Let me guess. He's a free thinker. He's an independent thinker. He's anti-woke. He's the brave and the bold and the whole new world and all of that good stuff. Again, if she's a puppet, then what are you? Because as far as I'm concerned, Ramen Noodles is not above the fray. He says, we can't fall for that trap. 1 year from now, we won't look back and say we were shocked that it happened. We'll kick ourselves for not stopping it. I think most of America is kicking their ass right now, its own ass, for even having to, unfortunately, the displeasure of knowing who you are. Our movement must live on. America First didn't start in 2016. It started in 1776, which, by the way, your ancestors weren't here. We owe it to our founding fathers to do the right thing for our country. I want to save Trump and to save this country. Let's do it together. You won't hear any friendly fire from me. Exactly. It's kind of hard to hear when you have your face muzzled in places where it shouldn't be, but I'm not going to say exactly where, but I'll let the chat use its own imagination to determine what I am talking about. All that muffled noise. Exactly, Wallow J. A long love letter that don't equate to nothing. Either way, ramen noodles, he's done out here. He probably doesn't realize it, but he is done out here. It just is what it is. If anybody would like to come up and speak their piece about this subject matter, the link is right there in the chat. Feel free to come on up. Stalemate said he about to be driving the tour bus. Wallow J made it up first time. First person up there. Like it's gonna miss.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about yesterday. I did watch the playback from yesterday when you owned that troll. I appreciate that. I've been waiting for this PPP for the longest goddamn time, for this bitch ass, punk ass, scary ass, no good son of a bitch. I can't stand this motherfucker. Only thing he's good for is talking shit about black folks, and he won't do it to nobody's face.
Exactly.
I'll smack his hairline all the way goddamn back. Shit.
That's why it kind of pissed me off. That's why it kind of pissed me off when he went to Chicago and he was speaking at that barbershop with them black barbers. I'm like, do you not know what this guy was saying? Now, mind you, this was after he already been saying stuff about us. I'm like, how did y'all not know what he was doing? Because he wouldn't have got invited into my place of business, with what he said.
Nah, he never would have got invited. If I saw him, I would slap the shit out of him the first damn time I looked at him. Slap that hairline all the way uneven. But I don't feel nothing for this jackass, this person of color. He can go wherever the fuck he can go. He can go back to India with his dad, since his dad's still not legal, but it is what it is with that. But I can't wait till Kid Gravity do his own thing at 8 o'clock. I really can't, because I'm gonna be up there laughing my ass off at him. And Rhonda Satan. I don't feel nothing for none of these jackasses, man. But it's time for me to go. Happy MLK. And remember, everybody, we coming to get our damn check. B1.
B1. Shout out to Wallow J. Came up, said his piece. Straight to the point. Hey, I have a feeling that's going to be the foundation of many people coming up here today. Like, fire off. Like, say what you get. Like, say it with your chest. Your whole chest and nothing but your chest. So help you God. Next up, we have Cosmo Fury. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? Where is he gonna go now? Remember what I said before with him? You done put yourself so far into a corner. You might as well just break through the damn what is it? Sheetrock? You might as well just hide in the wall, like the people under the stairs. Where are you gonna go now? He talked all this shit about black people now, and it amounts to nothing.
Exactly. Like I forgot who it was that said it. But you can sit up there and talk all this crap about black people all day. That'll get people to view you and give you eyes and whatnot. But then that gets stale after a while. That gets boring. So now people are going to want to be interested in your policy, because your policy can't be just attacking and saying you're the woke is this and the woke is that, and talking about black people like that. You become a one-trick pony, and then it gets lost in, okay, what kind of policies are you going to bring? Like, what do you plan to do with this economy? What is your stance on these south of the Bordarians coming over here? That's a major one. They always but the thing is, they can't come up with a solid plan because they don't have one. All of it is rooted in coming at us.
Exactly. It's like that episode of Family Guy when Lois was running for mayor and Brian was like, just mention 9/11. 9/11. Her answer to everything was 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
This is his whole thing. Woke. It's woke now instead of 9/11 is woke.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my problem. And like you said, you didn't define it. Everything I was about to say, you beat me to it. That's why I fucks with your content, man. What do you have? What substance? I mean, even PC people gotta be tired of like, because they don't even know what woke means.
Exactly. That's why I said when Bethany Mandel got checked last year, she didn't know how to define it. She wrote a whole book on it, quote unquote. I'm like, you could refer to your book, even though we know the definition in the book was some BS. But
did she even
you could have said, and you could have said something, but you just sat up there and said nothing.
Exactly. And like you say, I don't feel nothing for this clown. I'm just waiting for his hairline to go back a few more centimeters out of the stress. Anyway, man, thank you for having me up here.
No problem.
All right.
Shout out to Cosmo Fury for coming up. Next up, we have Miss Nisi. What's going on?
Hey T, how are you?
I'm doing good, doing good.
Mm-hmm. This Denise, if you didn't recognize me.
I knew it was. I knew it was when I saw the name.
Okay. All I gotta say, fuck him. Fuck him with his pompadour wearing ass. This talk. You did all that booty licking, and look where the fuck it got you. No damn where. I feel nothing, and I done said my piece. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Be blessed, my baby.
All right. Hey, the link is in the chat, y'all. Come on up. I'm gonna probably leave it open to maybe about 120. So if anybody would like to come on up and say what they gotta say, now is the time to say it. Of course, this won't be the last Triple P that I do on him, because when he actually drops out, we're gonna roast him again. So that means it's probably not going to be that far in the future, because with the way these numbers are looking right now, I predict that he will probably be dropping out sometime next month. And if that is the case, then wouldn't that be interesting? He dropped out in Black History Month after he talked all that crap, all that ish about Black people. Talk about poetic. Oh, most definitely, Donna. See, we gonna have a party. It's gonna be lit and loud in February if that's what happens. Hold on, I think I have another person, but I'm waiting for some reason. There's okay, the device says not connected. But the person that just came in, if you can get everything together, then you can come back in. But yeah. Let the redeemed say, sisters, what did he say about Black people? Oh, that could do a whole probably hour plus long video about him. But I'll give you one thing that he did. Last year, if y'all remember, Ramen Noodles said that Juneteenth is not a real holiday. He said it's not a real holiday. It shouldn't be acknowledged. It shouldn't be celebrated, and all this, that, and the third. That was one of the things that he said. And that's actually pretty tame compared to some other stuff that he said. All right, so next up we have Acrid. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man? I really like your content.
Appreciate it.
About this Vivek Ramaswamy. It's a problem that's been in the Indonesian Indian culture for quite some time now. It goes all the way back to Mahatma Gandhi, who tried to go and get his people out of the bondage by talking to the Europeans and the Romans, saying, "Oh, we're not savages like the Kafirs." This is what Ramaswamy is doing in America. He is trying to get his proximity to whiteness. Good luck.
Listen, he couldn't even pass. That's the thing. Like, look at him. He got a permanent tan. What? And his name. Does he really think that is going to go the way that he thinks it is?
Well, in their culture, yeah, because they have a thing called schisms or a caste system. The lighter your skin, the closer proximity you have to richness. So the fact that he's doing what he's doing in America, you said his daddy's still back over there in India, then it's making his dad and his family well off because it's putting them closer in proximity. Not making them white, but just being in the proximity makes it more likely that they'll see more riches than their counterparts, the darker skinned Indian race. Thank you for your time, though.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for coming up. All right, next up we have Najee. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, so it's real interesting. You know what was the Asian guy that was they was always trouting him out to speak against affirmative action? Kenny something, the Asian guy.
Oh, Kenny Zhu?
Yeah, Kenny Zhu. So I think
Yeah.
he's going to go the way of him, because that was kind of like a one-trick pony. So now you don't see him no more. Once once the affirmative action was was done with in the Supreme Court. So I think that his whole play was to not only be in proximity with whiteness, but he really thought that he was going to have a place in Donald Trump's administration.
Yeah.
That was the play, and I think the second play is just notoriety and attention. But
It's funny you bring up Kenny Zhu, because when I did my a live stream last year, it was actually, I think, at the end of November, when I was talking about how a lot of people in the Asian American community are feeling the burn right now because of the overturning of affirmative action. I had played a clip where he was being interviewed about that, and instead of him staying focused on affirmative action, he managed to mention black people like in every other sentence, and we had nothing to do with the topic at hand, but he could not help but to consistently bring us up in his talking points. That's why I said, like I said, their talking points, whenever it limits down to just us, it's fine for getting you an audience, because we know that the establishment is very anti-black anyway. But what are you going to do past that is the question, and they can't do anything. And like Kid Gravity wrote in the chat, he said Kenny is running for Congress. I don't think he's going to win, but he threw his hat in the ring.
Right, that's the only play that they got. And also, let's not forget that Ramaswamy also donated to the guy that strangled the homeless black guy in the subway.
Oh yeah, it's Daniel Penny.
Right. That even when he was on the Breakfast Club, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tesla. But I really never even understood why they didn't challenge him on that. Like, why they didn't even bring that up.
And guess who else also did? And this is actually how he became like an overnight millionaire, was the Snowflake. Remember when he put it out there about his GiveSendGo account? That's how he ended up getting like over $1 million in donations, like in a very short amount of time, because DeSantis had put it out there about the situation, and he posted the link on his page, and everyone kept donating. That's how he got over $1 million in like a week.
Right, definitely. But you know what? But I think a larger threat to us is more or less like the Edward Blooms. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, because Ramaswamy, I mean, we can see him a mile away. He really doesn't have any teeth outside of his rhetoric. But I think we kind of need to like switch gears and focus on like Edward Bloom and figure out how we're gonna, dismantle or bring him down or bring attention to what he's doing and really call it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, you're not attacking affirmative action. Like I think Jason Black was talking about it. Like, nah, you're practicing anti-blackness. But the people like Ramaswamy, I would say maybe about 3-5 years from now, I mean, he's going to be like, nobody's even going to remember who he was.
Like I said, over here, I make sure to call everybody out. But I did hear about Ed Blum. Heard about him like months ago, but I heard about what he's recently doing now, and using that civil rights plan from 1866 to try to deal with that DEI situation. I said it's funny how they hate black people to a T, but they're going to use policies that was implemented or supposed to be implemented for us so they can use it for their own nefarious reasons. But and then on the flip side, say, what do we contribute?
Right. I mean, it's definitely an uphill battle, and I mean, there's going to be, just like every there's going to be another Ramaswamy in the future. You know what I'm saying? We're never going to not have a deficit of people like him, but it's just really important for people to recognize, who these people are. And because even when he went to Chicago, I didn't really look at the whole. I think he had a town hall. Was he in a barbershop?
He was in the barbershop.
Okay,
he was in the barbershop.
But I don't. But you know what I mean? I don't even know if them guys really was aware of who he was, or even some of his rhetoric. But the whole thing is to basically, just kind of like put the call out so people can see these people a mile away, because he's a chameleon. And I'm pretty sure the same rhetoric that we hear him spewing about black people, he wasn't spewing in that, he wasn't talking in that barbershop. So again, this guy is a con artist, and we definitely got to beware of these guys. But I'll close.
All right, appreciate you coming up. All right, next up, I hope they got their stuff together, but there's a person that says Trump 2024. I don't know if their stuff is still not working. I'll bring them down. Maybe hopefully they'll get their stuff together. But after that, we have Jerome. What's going on? You sound kind of like far, like you kind of sound kind of far away.
I do?
Okay, now you sound a little bit better.
Yeah. So, how you doing, Tulane? Shout out to
I'm doing.
Black. I'm good. Everything's good. Sorry about that. Shout out to the Black media all day, every day. Stop listening to these white supremacist chumps on Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, the whole 9 yards. So, regarding this salami having motherfucker, everybody knows he's going to drop out. He's going to drop. I predict he'll drop out before the end of January, because he has no leeway. Okay, he's just a think tank, just like Candace Owens, just like Brandon Stacom, got Terrence Williams having guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he is. I mean, think about it this way: Nikki Haley, aka Nikana, what her name is, she's from India as well, and she ran for president not once but 4 times. Okay, and she's going to drop out before February as well. Okay. That's their job. As long as they speaking anti-black talking points, that's all that matters. Okay, he has no leverage. They talk about he's a good fit for vice president. Donald Trump is not going to pick his ass as his running mate.
Oh, definitely not.
Is either going to be Ron DeSantis or somebody from two presidential campaigns ago. I will assume it will be Mitt Romney's running mate, since him and Donald Trump got a good relationship. I forgot his name. Paul something. Last name. I forgot his last name. So that's what's going to happen. Okay. So pay no mind to these shills. And speaking of which, you seen that that podcast with Angel Gillum and freaking Angela Rye?
Yeah, that's a joke waiting to happen. I'm just saying, I'm gonna say it right now.
Yep. Funny thing is, they getting a lot of leeway right now. A lot of people are supporting this podcast, which is very odd. I'm guessing they're getting a lot of backup money from these the Democratic backed companies, because it's a desperation right now. I mean, you got attorney generals all over the east side trying to sue Donald Trump. Okay, you got the Boston, Massachusetts senators trying to deal with Donald Trump, which is like they are scared, bro. These people are scared. Okay, so I'm gonna let my plan for now, man. Salute to the Black American family. Stay up, stay safe.
No problem. B1. Shout out for Jerome for coming up. Yeah, it's getting real. It's getting real spooky out here. I wish Kid Gravity could have came up and spoke, because I would definitely wanted to hear from him what he had to say, even though I heard pretty much most of everything yesterday of what he had to say as it pertained to ramen noodles in that whole in his whole situation. You want to know what's so interesting? I already had another midday stream lined up for today that was not this, but when this came out, I said I definitely got to shift it a little bit. So the midday stream that I had for today, I'm gonna do on Wednesday. And also, speaking of Wednesday, I recorded episode 2 of the series earlier this morning. So definitely be looking out for that when I drop that on Wednesday. To the person who's in the queue right now under the name Trump 2024, for some reason your screen is still whited out, which means it's like nothing's coming through. I don't know if it's some kind of issue on your end or whatever the case may be, but when I bring you up, it just keeps the circle, the low circle keeps swirling. So I don't know exactly what's going on with that. But if you can get that fixed, I'll go ahead and I'll bring you up. But it has to be like a black screen with your name on it and like a picture or an avatar, whatever that is. Speaking of Kid Gravity, here he is.
I just needed you to say my name twice, and I would have been like Candyman. What's going on, bro?
I'm good. I'm great.
7 hours is gonna be fun. I just want to see his campaign headquarters when he don't win.
Oh, it's gonna be a lot of sad faces. I said it last year. I said it's gonna be a lot of upset and sad faces. Listen, that's a whole live stream in and of itself to see what he going, like what kind of speech he's going to give when he finally does drop out. I hope we are able to
he gonna write a
retrieve
letter.
that.
He gonna write some X posts.
Oh, then shoot. Then we'll get the letter. I mean, either way,
we gonna have it posted, and we gonna go through it line by line. They be like, you shouldn't have said it this day. You said this day, and say bye bye. But yeah, this guy, this anti-black racist, this ain't working out the way he thought it was, huh?
It's not.
Remember, hey Torian, would you like to tell everyone how we were getting inundated with the trolls last summer?
Oh yeah, like whenever we were talking about him, like we stayed getting hit with trolls. I mean, that's par for the course. If you are over here in the new black media, you're gonna get. I'm surprised none of them came over here today. Not that I'm upset that they didn't, but they sniffed this stuff out like a bloodhound, like a mouse looking for cheese. But
you don't like him because he's brown. What? Okay, sure. You go with that.
Right. That's not why we don't like him. I can promise you that his Indian heritage has absolutely nothing to do why we don't like him. Trust me on that. Like, you can look at any video or live stream or commentary that we have done since we started talking about him, and we have never bashed his heritage one time.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what my favorite response was?
What's that?
I didn't hear him say anything anti-black. I'm like, okay. See, we've been trained to listen underneath the words that you guys love. Just like that truth speech you played earlier. He literally dissed us in there, but nobody picked up on it except us. And then when we pointed it out to people, they said we were crazy. We're making it about race.
Exactly. The live stream that I have coming up this Friday, like the weekly live stream that I do, is going to be one of my rare light streams where the topics aren't heavy hitting like that, but it's going to be so funny. The reason why I said that, and I kind of set my subscribers up for it, is because yesterday, you probably saw, you did because you responded to it. I had posted up on X. I said, can anyone properly define anti-white? And notice I didn't get any PC person to come under that post, because sometimes they'll find those posts. The trolls will find posts like that attract them, and they'll leave whatever. But none of them said anything. It was mostly black people. That's why I didn't like any of the comments, because I wanted to see if any of them were going to come here. Then I posted up the video that I did today about Josh LeCat, and what he said was anti-white. Then, you know, when y'all see the live stream that I'm doing on Friday, two of the topics I'm going to talk about is going to be talking about how PC has literally thrown out the term anti-white so much that it sounds ridiculous, and it's two instances in which they did it, and they both look foolish by doing so, as well as my 11 a.m. video on Saturday is going to also lend into how ridiculous it sounds too. Like, I'm like, they're throwing out anti-white all over the place, but none of it makes sense. And I mean, absolutely none of it. Like, they just have to find a talking point to use to throw anti in front of, so they can try to make themselves feel like they're being oppressed. I'm like, you can't be the one who's doing the oppressing and the oppressor at the same time. Like, you got to pick a struggle.
Yeah, the reason why I was not gonna come up was because I got that Charlie Kirk thing up, so I'm trying to study what he's saying about MLK so I could go in on him.
Oh yeah,
boy,
so
man,
you think he's gonna say something today?
Oh, he already started.
Oh,
yeah, I don't want to spoil it because I'm recording it. So I want to have the clips ready for 4:00 because he started saying some bullshit already.
I have the notification turned on because I see that you're doing a collab with Lisa.
Oh yeah, I told y'all I had a surprise for y'all. I told y'all that. I just needed confirmation if she could do it, but yeah, we good to go 4:00. It's gonna be fun.
I will definitely have the notifications set for that, and I see that you're doing another another stream later on.
Yeah, that's the caucus stream when they do the caucus vote. I want to make sure I have y'all up.
That's today too.
Yeah, it's 8:00.
Oh God.
Listen, bro, that's why we got playback, so it's okay if you can't watch it live.
No, it's not. It's not the fact that I'll miss it, because I think it's a good chance I can catch both of them. It's just that I'm thinking about just the topic of that. I'm like, so we're gonna like move some around and move some more in, or we're gonna take some that's there and keep them there.
What you mean?
You said the caucus vote, right?
Yeah.
You're not talking about you're not talking about the CBC, are you?
No. We talking about no. They're doing today's the Iowa caucus where they put up the vote.
Oh, that caucus.
It
went over my head. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said when I came in, when he loses, I want to see what he's gonna say.
Okay. You're talking about the one we're talking about right now. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. I think me personally, I think they might give it to Trump just because it's him. And I'm pretty sure Nimrod Rada is gonna complain. But she's like, well, you know, we still got New Hampshire and South Carolina. DeSantis is going to be disappointed, but he's going to like, we're still going to be doing the work. Vivek he going to be like, well, this is disappointing, but we our resolve has never been stronger. I'm like, all right, shut up. You carrying Candace Owens. You picked one of the most hated people in the country.
Yeah.
Man, you ain't got no right to. You're a bad judge of character, sir.
Yes. When you pulled up that video of Candace when she had made that statement, I'm like, I'm sitting there saying the same thing in the chat that you were saying on the stream. I'm like, did you realize what you just said when you was talking about Asians, and their smarts and everything like that? She probably didn't even realize what she just said. I said, a willing broken tool at that.
And the funny thing is, she's getting cooked.
Of course she is.
It's bad.
Of course
I've never seen her get cooked like this.
Listen, but the thing is, I've already have her blocked. So I mean, that was the only.
That's fine, but
that was the only the way that y'all showed it. The way y'all showed it was the only way I was going to be able to see it.
No, I'm talking about today. MAGA is destroying her right now. It's so she know it's bad because her main tweet today is about her kid, and even MAGA went under there.
What you mean to tell me she didn't put out some lame MLK post?
No. Oh, she know better than that. Remember the last one she put up, she got destroyed over. No, there's somebody I gotta cook at 4:00 though. I need you to be there, bro, because you might have to do a bed bucking on this fool. This fool decided to try to do the white version of MLK, and I told him I'm gonna cook him for
The
what he
white
said.
version of MLK. I
Mhm.
almost want to ask not who you're talking about, but what was their white version of it? Like
He tried to make him seem soft, talking about the issues that we're facing today. He would call out like a conservative. I was like, boy, if man, you gonna learn. He brought up black on black crime.
Of course.
I told him I'm gonna cook him.
And I had to
He
go
said-
after,
he said,
I had to
"Oh,
go
give
I had
me-
to
give-
go
give
in
me the
on
link."
I had to go in on Xavier DeRusso yesterday
I
because
can't see that he blocked me.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, he had posted up a tweet because when you had told me that CJ Pearson was running for that political seat or that political position down there, which I highly doubt he's going to win.
Oh, he gonna get cooked.
He had posted up a picture with him and CJ Pearson, and he wrote some babble stuff in there. But the thing that stuck out to me was saying CJ Pearson being a graduate of PragerU. I said, hold on. I said, you do know that. I said, you do know that PragerU is not a real school, right? I mean, I said PragerU was about as real as PragerU was about as real as Trump University.
They really think this is accredited.
I saw that and I said, wait a minute, no, hold on, time out. Like I didn't have to read any more. When I didn't have to see anything else past that, I said, you do know that PragerU is not a school.
Oh no.
Like you can see it, like you can go on my X account and you can see when I wrote. It wasn't that long ago. It was
Wait, Tori,
yesterday.
tell me this is not you got to get me the screenshot of that so I can
Hold
go
on. You know
to
what? As a matter of
video.
fact, let me go ahead and pull it up now so you
Oh
and
my
everybody
God,
so you and everybody can see it. I'm like, dude, are you serious? This is why no one takes them seriously. And this is who they talk, and this is who they be claiming is like so smart and so intelligent and all this, that, and the third. Let me scroll down and see if let me pull it up right here and let me share my screen right quick. Because y'all guys,
I had to go on camera and show you that I'm laughing. You can't
y'all
be
got
kidding
y'all got to see this. Hold on. There it is right there.
I'm sorry. What is this? Is he wait a minute.
Posted it on January 12th, so 3 days ago is when he posted it. So it's fresh.
Wait a minute. What is this? What is this? They're sitting at a news desk. Who's checking for these fools? Wait a minute.
I don't know if it's some type of event because I'm looking behind them and there's some chairs. I don't know what kind of event.
Real. That's why I'm laughing so hard. It does not look real. What is this? Oh my God. I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that. But Brother Tori, can you zoom in for a second?
Hold on. Let me see.
Oh my God, no. I'm sorry. I hope I have a voice for 4 o'clock.
And here it is right here. Congratulations at the CJ Pearson for graduating PragerU. I said PragerU is not a school.
Wait a minute. So that means Amala Ekpanomi graduated from there. Let me see the certification and or the degree. I need to see this piece of paper. Toilet paper, man. I mean. I need to see it. Did you get it handed over by Dennis Prager? Did you get a cap and gown?
But look at
did your cap say? Did your cap have woke on top?
But I didn't peep. I didn't even peep his bio. Uncle Tom's favorite nephew.
What?
Ex BLM activist, because again, all of them started somewhere. At PragerU personality, he is quite a personality.
I remember, we figured out what kind of personality he is. He's doing the kid shows.
Yeah, and then CJ Pearson, he switched up his bio because he's running for this position. He says America First, conservative. And I found out yesterday who raised him. He said he was raised by his grandparents. He said running to be Georgia's next state representative, HD 125, and then he has the American flag behind it.
He better hope his parents are not drug addicts or something, and his opponent finds out, because he will put that out there. But what is this? They look like they about to host the worst sports show ever.
Right. That's when I first saw that. I thought it was a screenshot from like ESPN or FS1 or something like that. But then I looked at it. I said, this is from Fox News.
You know who they remind me of? They remind me of a black conservative version of Kid and Play called Coon and Play.
Oh, and CJ Pearson is definitely Kid.
Oh yeah,
he's definitely Kid, and Xavier is definitely Play. Like I now I can't unsee it. All he
Coon and
needs,
Play. That's what we gonna call him. Coon and Play.
all he needs is the high top fade. And the thing that still gets me though is that CJ Pearson is only 21.
You know when they do the Kid and Play move, they toss each other biscuits. Or they play hot biscuit.
Wow.
What is this? They really think they did good. They're about to do Fox News coverage of a debate. Look at this.
Only in their dreams will this occur.
So Javier, I know you blocked me. You'll probably never hear this, but sir, you're in your mid-20s and you're still on PragerU. You haven't ascended to nothing else. At least CJ Pierce has been on Fox. They don't even call you no more. They called you about 3 times, and they saw your worth.
And that's why. And listen, that's why I keep telling people like them too. They have to continue to tap dance, because the minute that they stop, that's when the world is, well, we could care less about them, but the ones in their world will forget about them. That's why do you think Candace had to come back so soon after she gave birth, and why do you think she had to be up there almost to the last second of her pregnancy? Because the minute she takes a elongated break, the people gonna forget about her. They're gonna be looking for their next. They probably already have the next person lined up. They just waiting for her to slip up so bad that even they can't come and pick her up, so they can shoehorn the next one in. She feels like she's not replaceable, but she is.
I gotta send you 2 links, bro. Me and you might have to collab on something. I did not know this man had a YouTube channel. I just saw a video we got to collab on.
Am I familiar with the person?
Yeah, it's Javier.
Oh, I thought it was somebody else.
No.
Actually, now that I think about it, I did do a bed bucking on him last year. Now that I think about it,
yes,
I did.
It was like right after my video. Yes, you did. And that was fun times. I enjoy it. It actually came back in my home in my feed the other day. So I was like, maybe Torian's out of his shadow ban, because they wouldn't have shown me that.
And shout out to Black Logic for the $20 super chat. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Damn, so y'all motherfucking making some money this week, boy. Shout out to y'all. But yeah, man, let me go off here and go finish laughing at this photo, blood.
Yeah, I
screenshotted it already.
Yeah. And see now because like you said, he blocked you, so you couldn't see it. But when I saw this, I said, you know what? You got them thinking PragerU was real. Then you got PC over there thinking Trump University. Remember they was peddling that Trump University? I said, where is this Trump University at? Where is it? And shout out to Cyberdon for the $9.99 super chat. I appreciate it.
Somebody said, yo, I'd rather go to ICDC.
Yes, I think somebody did reply to that under they put ICDC over PragerU. At least ICDC is an accredited online school. PragerU is definitely not. And that's what makes it so weird that in the state of Florida, well, it's Florida after all, and we look who the governor is, allowed quote unquote learning materials from PragerU into their schools. But apparently teaching the accurate history about slavery was somehow false. Again, I'm telling you, the people on both sides, they are some wicked individuals.
Yeah. Only 15 days in.
Only 15 days.
350 to go.
Like you said last year, you called it early last year. You said this year is going to be a very interesting year. And I think for me, it started when they overturned affirmative action. Because it seems like ever since then, that's when everything started to literally take a downfall for a lot of people. Like I always talk about domino effects. Once one domino falls, you can't stop it until that last one falls, whenever that is. It's like ever since they overturned affirmative action, then that's when everything started to decline right behind it. And it's still falling. Like I said, we only on day 15 of so many more days to go. It's a leap year. It's an election cycle.
Wait, it's a leap year?
Yeah, it's a leap year. February has 29 days this year. It's always a leap year, and the way you know is because it always falls during an election year or when the Olympics happen, which of course always happens every 4 years. Yes,
Okay,
we had
351
360
days to go.
Exactly.
The
Shout out to
last
Will.
day.
Shout out to Wilson's for the $10 super chat. She said, "Love your content, B1. I appreciate it."
Oh man, hey. I gotta pray to the Most High for that one. Thank you.
You're gonna be
An
wearing
extra day of fun.
Listen, you're gonna be wearing that chef's hat quite a bit this year.
Yeah, I gotta find it. I want to wear it. I gotta find it. It's somewhere. Maybe I'll go get the apron. I ain't sure yet, but continue to do what you do, man. I gotta go finish laughing at this.
All right, thanks for coming up.
They look so messed up.
Shout out to Kid Gravity for coming up. So y'all kind of got a little bonus thing here with that one. You know, thankfully Kid Gravity did come up because that's the only way I would have showed that. But anyway, y'all, this is going to bring this midday stream to a close. Shout out to everybody who came through. Let me acknowledge again the people who contributed. Denise, the Village Brother, Nice T Girl, Scoop 2003, Blacklight Andrew, Black Logic, Cyberdon 100, and Wilson's 4. And also, now that I think about it, Cyberdon also contributed to the Cash App as well. And again, shout out to Scoop 2003 for the $5 super chat. He says he got the good little Nero Award valid in any PC community. But I appreciate it. Everybody who watched over on X, I appreciate you as well. Also, those who on Patreon, y'all got a new video today. So if you are subscribed to my Patreon, y'all got a video today. Ironically, I was talking about Florida at the end of the stream. That story came out of Florida as well. So you know it's some debauchery, and it really is. Shout out to everybody in the Discord as well. Everyone sending me stories every single day. I may not get to every story, but it doesn't mean I'm not aware of it. We will be back here tomorrow with the 11 a.m. Eastern time video. On that particular video, I'm going to be talking about that South Carolina couple who put that cross in their yard and set it on fire to intimidate their black neighbors. That story came out about maybe 2 weeks ago, so some of y'all may have heard about it, but I'm gonna give my take on it tomorrow. And with that being said, enjoy the rest of your day. Happy MLK Day. Remember, he said they're coming to get the check. They love to leave that part out, but he said we coming to get the check. Remember that. Be safe and be one.